He's dead now. Greetings, beloved. Today I share with you the tale of Samson, a man set apart from birth, chosen by me to deliver Israel from the Philistines. This story, recorded in the book of Judges, chapters 13 to 16, is a testament to both divine power and human frailty. Samson's story begins with a miraculous announcement. The people of Israel were suffering under the oppression of the Philistines because they had done evil in my sight. Amidst their suffering, an angel of the Lord appeared to Manoah's wife, a barren woman, and said, "You shall conceive and bear a son. Now, therefore, be careful not to drink wine or similar drink, and not to eat anything unclean. For behold, you shall conceive and bear a son. And no razor shall come upon his head, for the child shall be a Nazirite to God from the womb. And he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines." Judges 13, 3-5. Manoah prayed to me, asking for guidance on how to raise the boy. The angel appeared again and repeated the instructions. Manoah and his wife made an offering to me, and the angel ascended in the flame of the altar, confirming the divine origin of his message. Samson was born, and as he grew, my spirit began to stir in him. One day, as a young man, he went down to Timnah and saw a Philistine woman. He told his parents, "I have seen a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me as a wife." Judges 14:2. Though his parents protested, for they wanted him to marry within the Israelites, they did not know that this was part of my plan to confront the Philistines. On the way to Timnah, a young lion attacked Samson. Filled with my spirit, he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. Judges 14:6. Later he found a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. He took some honey and ate it, sharing it with his parents without revealing its source. At his wedding feast, Samson posed a riddle to the Philistines based on this experience. Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet. Judges 14:14. The Philistines could not solve the riddle and coerced his new wife to entice the answer from him. Angered by their deceit, Samson killed 30 Philistines to pay the wager he had lost, and left his wife in anger. When Samson returned to find that his wife had been given to another man, he sought revenge. He caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together in pairs with torches, and set them loose in the Philistines' grain fields, destroying their crops. Judges 15:4-5. The Philistines retaliated, killing his wife and her father. In response, Samson struck them with a great slaughter. Fleeing to the rock of Etam, he was bound by his own people and handed over to the Philistines. But when they approached, my spirit came upon him mightily. He broke free from the ropes, found the jawbone of a donkey, and killed 1,000 Philistines. Judges 15:15. Samson judged Israel for 20 years during the time of Philistine oppression. However, his weakness for Philistine women persisted. He fell in love with Delilah, who was bribed by the Philistine leaders to discover the secret of his strength. Despite several attempts, Samson deceived her with false explanations. Finally, weary of her persistence, Samson revealed the truth. "No razor has ever come upon my head, for I have been a Nazirite to God from my mother's womb. If I am shaven, then my strength will leave me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man." Judges 16:17. While he slept, Delilah had his hair cut. His strength left him, and the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and made him a slave in Gaza. They mocked him, making him grind grain in prison. But as his hair began to grow back, so did his strength. During a celebration in the temple of Dagon, the Philistines brought Samson out to entertain them. Samson prayed to me, saying, "O Lord God, remember me, I pray. Strengthen me, I pray, just this once, O God, that I may with one blow take vengeance on the Philistines for my 2 eyes." Judges 16:28. I granted his request. With renewed strength, Samson pushed against the pillars of the temple, causing it to collapse, killing himself and thousands of Philistines. In his death, he accomplished more than he had in his life. Samson's life is a profound lesson on the gifts and responsibilities given to my chosen ones. His strength was not his own, but a gift from me, meant to deliver Israel. His downfall came from forgetting the source of his power and succumbing to his weaknesses. Beloved, remember that my strength is made perfect in weakness. Trust in me, for I am your source of strength. Do not be swayed by the temptations of the world, but remain steadfast in your faith. Samson's story, while marked by incredible feats of strength, also teaches about the consequences of disobedience and the pitfalls of pride. One of the most striking episodes is his encounter with the Philistine city of Gaza. Samson visited Gaza and lay with a harlot, a choice reflecting his ongoing struggle with personal desires. The Philistines, seeing an opportunity, surrounded the place and waited to ambush him at dawn. However, Samson arose at midnight, took hold of the city gates, including the 2 posts, lifted them, and carried them to the top of a hill facing Hebron. Judges 16:1-3. This act was not merely a display of physical might, but also symbolized my enduring support despite Samson's flaws. Another pivotal moment was Samson's complex relationship with Delilah, which reveals the vulnerability of even the mightiest when swayed by love and manipulation. The Philistines, desperate to subdue him, bribed Delilah with a substantial amount of silver to discover the secret of his strength. Delilah's persistence over days and nights wore down Samson's resolve. This episode highlights a profound truth: the power of persistence and the danger of yielding to temptation and deceit. Despite being a judge over Israel, Samson's inability to resist Delilah's manipulations led to his capture and suffering. Samson's capture and subsequent humiliation by the Philistines were a direct result of his betrayal. They did not merely imprison him, they gouged out his eyes, a brutal act symbolizing the loss of divine vision and guidance. Bound and forced to grind grain in the prison, Samson experienced profound physical and spiritual darkness. However, even in his lowest state, my grace remained. His hair began to grow back, a sign that his covenant with me was being restored, even if he could no longer see it physically. The climax of Samson's life occurs in the temple of Dagon, where the Philistines gathered to celebrate their supposed victory over him. Blind and bound, Samson was brought out to entertain them, showcasing their dominance. Yet in this moment of humiliation, Samson's heart turned back to me fully. In his final prayer, he asked for strength one last time to fulfill his purpose. O Lord God, remember me, I pray. Strengthen me, I pray. Just this once, O God, that I may with one blow take vengeance on the Philistines for my 2 eyes. Judges 16:28. With a final surge of divine power, Samson pushed the central pillars, causing the temple to collapse, killing many Philistine leaders and himself. This act of sacrifice marked Samson's redemption and ultimate fulfillment of his destiny. Though his life was fraught with personal failings and moral struggles, his end demonstrated the triumph of my purpose over human weakness. Samson's story is a testament to the complexity of divine plans and the potential for redemption and strength, even in the face of personal failure. Beloved, let Samson's life be a reminder that no matter how far one strays, my grace and purpose can bring restoration. His journey from birth to death illustrates that I use imperfect vessels to achieve my will, and that strength comes not from physical might alone, but from a heart aligned with me. Samson's birth itself was surrounded by miraculous signs and divine instructions. Manoah and his wife, initially childless, were visited by an angel who delivered the news of Samson's birth and his Nazirite vow. This vow was a special commitment to me, involving abstaining from wine, not cutting one's hair, and avoiding contact with the dead. Samson's entire life was meant to be a living sacrifice, dedicated to my service and set apart for a divine purpose. This early consecration underscores the importance of parental faith and obedience in nurturing a child's divine destiny. As Samson grew, his strength became legendary, but it was not merely physical prowess. It was a manifestation of my spirit upon him. Each feat of strength was a direct result of divine empowerment. For instance, when he killed the lion with his bare hands, Judges 14:6. It was not just raw power, but my spirit acting through him. Similarly, when he tore the gates of Gaza and carried them to the hill, Judges 16:3, it symbolized the lifting of Israel's burdens and my power over their enemies. The episode of Samson finding honey in the lion's carcass, Judges 14:8-9, is rich with symbolism. Honey, a symbol of sweetness and sustenance, found within the dead lion's carcass, represents unexpected blessings and sustenance arising from trials and victories. This event foreshadows the complexity of Samson's life. Out of his conflicts and struggles, moments of divine provision and lessons emerged. His sharing of the honey without revealing its source also speaks to the hidden ways in which I work, providing blessings from unlikely places. Go forth with these deeper insights, letting them guide your faith journey. Seek my strength, stay true to your divine purpose, and trust in my sovereign will. Peace be with you.